Let's shout out Manscaped first before we get into why you're just dealing with the strength of that. Shout out Manscaped. Feedback is people are making use of the 20% discount by using the code winners. I'm glad to hear it. Enough of the man have come and told me they cop their thing and they're happy and it's patterned up their situation, improved on the sex life, improved on the appreciation from their girl. Enough of my name brand friend them have said they've made a purchase. Enough of my local friend them have said they've made a purchase and they said, yeah, it's a game changer.
Doing what it does, mate.
Doing what it does. Obviously, the man them have all got theirs. We use ours. I use mine on a regular basis and it works well for me. So I suggest for the man, then give your girl a little treat, surprise her. You get me?
Trust me.
You're gaining an extra half an inch off that.
Mine's always rolling in my little travel pack thing.
Come on.
Yeah,
what about you, Nicholas? You be making use of yours?
Yeah, man, standard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you saying? Bi-weekly and that?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Yeah, that's still
Bare things to turn up for, man.
Yeah, Nicholas is enjoying life.
Enjoying
That's what I'm trying to say.
Gotta keep that thing there neat, you know.
Yeah, that's still. Anyway, we move. That's enough of that. Manscaped.
Did it?
20% discount when you use the code WINNERS. If you're struggling with car finance, this is the company to go for. If you're not struggling with car finance, this is still the company to go for. Good credit or bad credit makes no difference. They're going to get it done for you. Carfinancearus.com.
Shh. Winners talking.
We rolling already?
Yeah.
Triple check, you know. I know you're ready.
Everything recording.
Rex, we good?
Sound recording as well, yeah?
You adjust the light for Cousin T's vest.
Hey, feel free to move over this side. It's a bit bright over there, you know. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I can see it in your face as well. He's looking at me blinking. I was like, I know he's struggling over there.
Anyway, we're in. Hold that one there, T. Anyway, we're in. Winners Talking podcast, we're in. Pound Sterling,
Come on.
Big Dougie Doug. Special guest today. Reality TV zone. But not just that. The man's an entrepreneur. The man gets things done.
Bro.
He's got one of the illest footwear ranges going right now. I'll go as far as to call it luxury footwear. But it's fashion in general. I can't say enough about it. I have got a pair. I didn't want to wear it today to look like I'm D-riding and that. You know what I mean? Look, Tommy's come, so he's wearing his mallets. I'm not even doing that. My girl said, you can't wear this today. Don't do that. We're not doing all of that. We're keeping it local. But yeah, man, like Tommy Mallet in the building. What you saying to me, brother?
Bless up, boys. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Good to have you. Yeah, we've been trying to put it together for a little while now.
It's been a while now, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been going back and forth.
You know, it is. Every time I do like I try not to overload things because I don't like to tell the same story too much, innit? But there's a lot of madness going on at the minute, so I'm fresh-headed now and I've got a lot of new stuff happening, so it's always timing, man.
Always.
I don't like ever doing anything and then it don't come out as good, you know what I mean? I don't like to...
be forced.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think both of us are good with patience. We're all blessed with patience, and you know it's about timing. So yeah, the time is now, the time's the right time. So go on, before we even get into anything, go on, tell us about some of the madness then, innit? What's going on?
You just said about the patience part, yeah? So I got diagnosed with ADHD, innit?
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was like, I've had a really bad spell over the last few months, and then I had all kinds of madness. And anyway, yes, I got ADHD, so that's like a new thing I'm completely learning with.
Yeah.
And type 2 diabetes, like nearly got to type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
So I've just the last 4 months literally just been working, trying to make things happen along with building the business.
Yeah.
So yeah, the type 2's gone. The ADHD's fucked. I still got that, but I've calmed down a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's been a mad few months for me. Like normally everything's just madness about business, but this is the first time like it's become like a bit of a personal journey that I've been on. Do you know what I mean? Because I've been burning the candle at both ends for 7 years now. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's all good. I feel lucky and blessed. I'm happy at the minute.
It's good that they diagnosed it. How did they diagnose the ADHD? Because that's something that usually gets tapped in quite early or recognised. Well, nowadays with kids nowadays, I know a few people with the kids, the youngers, they've been diagnosed with ADHD. How did they diagnose it with you?
Well, I can't read and write,
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know, but really struggle with it. And then just my temper started being a bit mad. So I used to be quite level-headed, but as I got older, you get like this mentality of like business, of like, yeah, fuck that. But I started doing it at home then, yeah? So with that, I was like, shit, you know what, something needs to change.
Cousin T, come on, let's listen. You want to turn up in that stupid face, and you want to fucking have your phone going off as well. They're taking the piss.
They did that on purpose.
They're taking the piss.
I see him.
That's him.
You know, like, after the beginning, he's like, fuck them, man. I swear. They rang it from the other phone.
Oh, God, sick. But yeah, man, just one of them ones. I've done so much so young. I wanted to become like a good dad, and I wanted to be able to try and like understand a little bit more. But I was always like this, like moving my leg around, like mad. Like if someone says something I don't want to hear, just shut up, stop talking. I become a proper little shit at like 30, yeah. So like something's got to give here. And then I went privately, got tested. And it turns out like I've got heavy ADHD.
Yeah.
That, and they test me for autism as well, but it's ADHD right now. So it's a bit mad. It's just made the story even fucking madder, really, innit?
Yeah, that definitely adds to the story. So what, you'd have had that all your life then? So all through school, when you were a bit different,
Yeah.
this is probably what was going on.
Yeah,
What was
100%.
going
It's
on?
like I've answered all my questions I've had my whole life. It's been going on 30 years. Imagine that. Not thinking I could read and write, but really, it was an attention thing instead of it being like dyslexia. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind the last few months, man. But
Like, I was gonna say, does it make you understand that now when things do kick off or you do find a certain way, do you deal with it differently now that you're aware that you got that?
yeah, because you see, normally, if I receive a text or an email and it pisses me off, I'm replying in a second and I'm cussing people's mums and everything. Yeah. But then now I understand. So like, I know how to, like, my brain knows how to rationalise things, innit? And I can sit and think, where in the past, everything has been impulsive. If you see some of the things I've done, you won't believe it. Like, I've bought houses before and come home and told my missus, oh, well, yeah, we've got a house there now. She's like, oh, I ain't even seen it. And then I'm like, yeah, do you want to go? She's like, no, not really. I'm like, fuck, why did I just do that? So I got to the point where as I've got older, it's got worse and worse and worse. So addressing it, I've addressed it, I'm here, and now I'm ready to help people with it as well, innit?
Yeah.
So I'm buzzing, man.
Come on, man.
The story's real and it's
Yeah.
getting realer as it goes along.
Yeah.
Right, with all of that in mind, let's go back. I always, is it Towie or Towie? Because I don't.
Towie.
It's Towie, right?
Whatever way you want to say it.
Yeah, because I
You can say Towie.
It's the only way it's Essex, innit?
Yeah,
So
I
if
say it,
ever
and
you
then
want to
you'll hear them
abbreviate
girls
it.
will be like, it's not Towie, it's Towie. I'm like, what the fucking cares?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, you got. Like, let's be real, though, innit? Like,
Shut up.
No,
Man,
no,
his
Google it. You don't know
ADHD
it. Come on, get him tested when we leave.
That's just how we.
I want to
Fuck
say it.
Towie anyway. It's shit anyway. Fucking pussy old
Nah,
Towie.
Listen, you know one thing about fucking Towie, right? You can't have a bad word about Towie around fucking women, you know.
Yeah.
Y'all them loved,
They
brother.
They rep it.
Brother, you see when that's on, it's a thing that they're
mad.
watching
Yeah.
that. It's the
Yeah,
realest
yeah,
thing
yeah,
ever.
yeah.
But all right, yeah, that's where you got your bus from, right? That's where you
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
come up. How did you manage to? For those that don't know, you probably said it a million times, but let's make it 1,000,001. How did you get that bus and get into?
No, I ain't even
Towie?
told the story that amount of times because up until like last year, I didn't like talking about it because obviously I was trying hard to do my thing within fashion. And the stigma behind Towie made it really hard for me to bust in the stores. So it was like a blessing and a disguise. So, yeah, I ain't really told this too much, but what happened is I'm from North, I'm not from Essex, I'm from Islington. And I was getting a little bit older, and a few little madnesses was happening. And then a few of the boys went on a bit of a long holiday, and then I was sort of left by myself to just start new things. So I started hanging around in Essex because I had a cousin there. And then I was just like making my way about around there. And then I wouldn't say made a name for myself, but I've become one of
Say it.
Oh no, not like
one
that.
of the
Just
lads.
I've done my thing in it for a little
Come on,
while.
put that
And
work in.
Yeah, I put the work in. Yeah, but I used to go between Islington and Essex. But I used to hang around in Loughton where like Nubar was and all them places.
yeah.
I know that.
But my mum and dad lived in like Collier Row. It's like near Romford back then, so it's not really like Essex. It's still sort of like where I come from. But for years and years, obviously with me being in the circle, I used to get asked to do it. But where I was young, stupid, and had a bit of a chip on my shoulder, I'd be like, fuck that. I'm not even from Essex. Why the fuck am I gonna go in there?
I rate that.
Da. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
And then when I went and see one of the boys, it was away, and just went and sat down, and he just said something, and it just clicked in my head straight away. It was like, what are you doing with yourself? And I was like, not much. I've left what I was doing for work. I'm a little bit of limbo at the minute. I'm just chilling. And he said, all right, cool, you're going to end up in here then. And he was an older friend of mine. And when he said that to me, it just changed my life. I weren't about none of that sort of stuff. But obviously where I grew up, I was hanging around with everyone, blah, blah, blah. So as soon as he said that, I was like, all right, do you know what? Next time they ask me, I'm going to think about it. I come out to visit, turn my phone on. And as soon as I turned my phone on, I had a text saying, can you come for an interview? We want you to come on The Only Way is Essex. So I went from a prison visit straight to ITV, and then that was it. It's just from there. But I had to drop my attitude, because I had this attitude of, no, fuck that, why am I going to go on that? My pals, all these got there, you know what I'm saying? And that was me. I was only 20 then, but I was still a money getter, but I didn't know where I was going. I was lost, man. I was mad lost as a kid, because I didn't really know where I fit in. So even though I lived in Essex, all of my people was from London, from all around London. So I was hanging around in all mad areas, and I was like, I'm just a lost individual. So done that, and then that was it. As soon as I went on there and I actually swallowed my pride and got rid of the ego, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to use it to the best of my advantage. Nice. So that was it, man. That was it. It was hard, because I went from hanging around with all my pals to then go on a show where someone can say what they want to you, and you're not allowed to do nothing, and you're like, yeah, you can fuck off too. Now what? Who are you talking to? Yeah, and then the bouncer stand over there going, I dare you to do that. So it's all mad, but yeah, it was the best thing I ever done. I can talk about it now. I'm proud of it, man. It's part of my story, and like, I've changed so many lives, and without the success, fuck the success and fuck all the money, I actually showed people from my area and from outer areas even, to you can do things are possible, innit? It ain't just a write-off, because I was a write-off. I was a complete write-off. I fucked everything I'd done. Everything I'd done, I fucked up, and then I just got some luck.
And you were young as well.
I was young,
comes into it as well. That's why I always say, like, we don't know ourselves until a certain age. Like, you're hitting, what, 31?
Just turned 30.
Right, just turned 30. Like, I find it's that age when we really start to know ourselves. Really more when we really start to. We're younger before then. But what you're telling me there explains a little something to me as well. Because I was going to ask you, I was going to say, why, like, of so many people have come through Only Way is Essex, and you're probably one of the most successful from it, and I was gonna say why, but
I think I'm the most successful reality TV star, not just off.
Yeah, let it be known. Let it be known. Let it be known.
I actually think I am.
Let it be known. Let it be known.
Not about mashing peas and things like that, because that just comes with success.
No, but with everything,
I'm worldwide with what I've done now. So like, I'd never admit that before, because I've got that humble bit about me where I want to be relatable to my people and things like that.
No, but sometimes you got to put your stats up.
Do you know what it is? It ain't even that. So people can see, like, the stuff that everyone's just seeing from an outset, it don't exist, man. A lot of these people who you think are having it ain't having it. To go and actually have it, it ain't going to do a club appearance every week. It don't work like that. You have to be getting it in when you're asleep, don't you?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you have to. Yeah, money coming while you sleep.
You have to do that, and I didn't understand that. I used to compare myself to people, and I'd be like, oh, they're doing better than me, and I'd be like, I'm not doing fuck all. I'm trying to launch this shoe brand, and it's not working, and everyone else is getting club appearances, and that guy's going on Big Brother. My man over there is fucking in Heat magazine, and no one cares about little old me. But really, when I slapped myself and said, what the fuck are you talking about? And started actually really understanding how success is measured and what it's off of, it ain't just about money. It's about what you've done in your community, and how you've changed lives to people, and that example you set, and how proud people are of you. Money's fuck all, man.
That's right.
It makes life easy, doesn't it?
Let them know.
But really, that's why I'm the most successful, because I'm doing something that I love every day.
That's right.
And I'm bringing through people who need the opportunity. That's why I'm the most successful. I don't know what people earn and things like that. Well, maybe a little bit, but when it comes to like the money part of it, that part of my life done, man. I don't really take that in as success no more. It's crazy, isn't it?
You're measuring it by
No, but
different things, isn't it? Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real. When you get to certain, you stop chasing it. It's not
Yeah.
really about that no more. It's about happiness, seeing your kids happy.
That's when you
all
know
that.
you reach a different level, because you
Yeah.
know when you're,
Legacy.
you know when
Legacy.
you reach the next stratosphere of it, like layer cake. You know when they say you reach that,
No, I'm
you
not-
go to
I-
the
you
next
know what?
level,
You know what it
but you're not
is?
even watching the pennies
I
in
was
the
sitting
pound.
down
man.
with someone today, yeah, and I was like basically saying about ADHD, yeah, and how it's affected me. And I was saying I don't want to feel sorry, but what I want to do is I want to work out. There's a kids causing madnesses at the minute, yeah, and I was a kid like that, but not to the extent of nowadays. Do you know how many kids are probably out there undiagnosed with certain bits
Yeah,
and pieces,
definitely.
yeah, that you could tweak to make things more calmer, yeah?
Yeah.
For me, that's where I want to put my success. I want to see how I can change people's lives, how I can put people in the right place, the right direction. The money part of it, when someone goes, oh yeah, but it's easy for you to say that because you've got a load of money, that's what poor people say. As bad as it sounds, you know, if you go to someone, yeah, how are you moaning about being upset when you've got all that money? If you're sitting there with 10 millionaires, yeah, and you complain, go, I'm really upset today, do you think them millionaires are going to go to you, yeah, it's all right for you to say that, you've got money? No, because they understand, because they've been to that place, that it don't mean fuck all. It's actually more stressful a lot of the time. So yeah, man, that's where I'm at. I'm trying to find peace right now.
That's what it's about. Peace is very important. Hold on 1 second. Rex, Nikos. Let's say Rex. What? The fucking sign's upside down, bro. This ain't McDonald's. It's meant to be a W, bro. Turn that fucking round. Fucking, got big fucking entrepreneurs in here. We're repping the brand.
Don't worry, we'll cut that shot out there.
If you run it for that.
The whole time, Rex is just chilling there watching man. Like, yeah.
Hey, you know the worst thing as well? I see him thinking, yeah? You know when you see someone who's got love for what they do, yeah? When they see something, they can't let it go. I see him looking at the same there. And I didn't clock it, but I see you looking, and I see him looking at him, and you couldn't take your eye off it. He been looking at it, he been looking at it for 10 minutes.
So that's why he's been looking at me like this, yeah. So you know when man, like rich people, like, he's looking at me,
know what it is,
like,
though,
give me
right?
the side.
Bum, that problem.
I'm looking straight back at him. Just,
You just feel him looking at you the whole time.
Yeah. You thought I was looking at you.
Woo!
No.
Hey,
Overpriced is looking
hey,
at me like,
I'm
yeah,
glad we
you know.
addressed it. I'm glad we addressed
I
it.
didn't know whether it
But
was
you know
Towie
what
or
it is?
TV. This guy's getting upset because of this, man.
And then he's like, yeah, fuck Towie, while we're at it.
I just clocked it like a minute ago. I was like, what are we doing here? But anyway, back to the script. Back to the script. But I reckon as well, I think you being from being a Londoner gives you that edge as well, because your character's different in the show as well when you was on.
100%, yeah.
That, because it makes more sense to me now when I know that you're from Islington and all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes a lot more sense.
Man had
'cause,
that different energy.
Yeah, that different kind. Not the
Yeah.
typical, you know.
Yeah.
But I went to school with Daniel. Me and Daniel Kalulu went to school.
Oh, yeah?
We're from the same area.
You're Arsenal man, yeah?
I grew up with Daniel, yeah.
You're an Arsenal fan, yeah?
Yeah, I don't do
No, don't
football,
do
man.
that. Just because he said he's from. No.
No, I don't do football.
Oh, okay.
No,
No,
I
you don't do football. Yeah.
But yeah, my brother and that were Arsenal, innit? My
Yeah,
dad's
come on.
Tottenham, but
Okay.
yeah, not even on that.
All right. So yeah, you went same school as Kaluuya. Yeah, makes sense. Islington. Yeah.
Yeah, went to the same school, yeah. But he's older than me, but that worked for me as well, I think. Like, obviously, me being different
Exactly.
and
yeah.
the way I carried myself
That's right.
and who I hung around with. Like, when I used to turn up to, like, the early days, when there would be, like, a club appearance or something, the people I used to turn up with, the club used to email the next day, yeah, saying, listen, if you ever have my man here again, tell him to come with one person and don't bring the whole of fucking estate with him.
Yeah.
I was doing that for years, man,
Yeah.
and I just, that's just me. I don't think nothing's changed, man. Everything's the same. I still got the same people around me.
Yeah. As
Like,
it should be, bro.
all my people work for me, man. Like, if someone comes to me with something, and then, for example, I've got my dad working for me, I've got friends working for me, I've seen things in kids from young. Like, when I first started the show, like, met 12-year-olds at PAs, I go, right, you got a bit about you, man. Holler me when you're 16, I'll give you a job. And I've done that. Like, so everything I've done sort of related back to where I've come from, so I can't really lose it.
Yeah,
and that's what I like doing, because I feel like I'm at that position now, yeah, where you get surrounded by yes men. That's the main thing what ends up happening. So there's a lot of people that don't tell me yes. He don't tell me yes. So he'll tell me if I'm doing something stupid calmly. My dad will tell me something. So that's why I feel like I've kept my way a little bit, because I've not really ventured out and started being friends with celebrities. I don't really have any celebrity friends at all, actually.
It's a good way to be. Good way to be.
Yeah.
Business acquaintances are acquaintances, but friend's a deep word, brother.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
trust me, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's all mad. It's a mad old journey, mate. And I'm getting to the point now where the more I tell it, the more I'm actually sitting there thinking, shit, we actually come from there. How the fuck have we got here?
Yeah.
Right. So go on, tell us where you come from originally. You said the estate and all of
Yeah,
that.
so I come from a estate called Marquis in Islington, yeah? It's just off Essex Road. And my dad was a postman. And my mum was like a hairdresser. She calls herself a hairdresser. I'm sure she's a receptionist, innit? But I'm not going to let her have that. My family are Irish, innit? So like, I grew up in just a normal London estate. And yeah, that's it. Just that was me.
Yeah.
And nothing exciting happened really in my life at all until 21, 22.
Yeah.
So you know, like all these kids running around thinking that they're all done by, and like, nothing goes on around here. We was exactly the same.
Literally.
We didn't really leave where we was from, did we? Where we grew up.
No.
Just everyone was just on bikes.
Yeah.
Everyone lived close to each other. So it was
We didn't even have
around
the
there.
technology like what they had now. Like
Know what I'm
what they
saying?
got now, yeah, like they got everything at their fingertips, innit?
It's mad. You used to find out where your friends was by. Remember when people used to put their bikes upside down outside the barber shops and things like that? That's how you find out where everyone was.
Yeah,
That's why we used
yeah.
to drive around for half hour to find everyone.
Yeah, especially if you was the last one out, you'd have to spend about
Yeah, to go
45
around
minutes just trying to
everywhere,
find everybody.
Remember them?
I go to all the little spots.
All the spots.
And then
All
when
the
they're not
spots.
there, you're like, where the fuck?
You know, you say that, it reminds me, yeah? So where I used to live in Islington, if I couldn't find anyone, there was a barber's called D&L's. It's still there, yeah, but it was a mission away. Where's D&L's? It's in like, it's the top of Islington, but it's a mission away, yeah? So if you used to come out late from school or get detention, you have to drive around for hours. So yeah, that was my childhood, man. So everything I do now goes back to that. That's how I've run the company.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to design and bring something new or sign off a design, it has to resonate from my vision to where I was during that time. So there's certain shoes that are related to estates, and there's certain shoes was related to areas I used to walk through with my mum, which was rich, and I used to look around at the houses on the way home from a late shift cleaning houses. So everything to do with what I've done, I've sort of gone back to where I've come from with it.
Proper. So talk to me about that, Tommy. The aspirations as far as footwear, that. How long was that a burning thing inside you? When did that start? Like, this is something I want to do.
You know what? It didn't start off as footwear. It started off as
Fashion, just in general.
No, the whole entrepreneur thing started as, it sounds mad, I was 15 and I failed my mock exams. It sounds mad now finding out I've had ADHD all these years, because it would have been dealt with so different. But I was in the McDonald's car park with my dad, and he said, you ain't fucking gonna be nobody. You ain't got your results, because my family are very clever. My dad and brother is. And
Shout out your mum.
Yeah, my mum's different level though. My mum's me,
Yeah.
so I am my mum. Like,
Oh, you two are like, yeah.
exactly the same.
Got
Like,
you,
my
got you.
mum made me what I am. My mum taught me confidence. My mum taught me how to be respectful to women. My mum taught me everything. My mum was the one that come from a proper like London family, like
Right, yeah.
so my mum gets it. I looked up to my granddad. I wanted to be that person. I'm glad I didn't, but that's what I loved as a kid. So my mum and me was like that.
Wicked.
But my dad and brother was always more like corporate and really
that side of things.
clever and things like that. So for me, that really pissed me off when my dad said that. And I said, listen, I'm telling you now, by the time I'm 25, I'll be a millionaire. I was 25 or 30, whatever it was. And from then, I just had some mad hunger, which honestly still got to this minute. It don't matter what I've achieved, I've still got it. It will never leave me, I don't think. And from then, anything I'd done, even when I was lost, I knew where I was going. It was the maddest thing. People ask my story, I knew I was going to do this. There was not one doubt in my mind that I knew I was going to do this. So I was just trying to find anything to do to try and get myself into something. And then shoes come about because I'd done a shoot when I went on the show, and I was so skint on Towie, and I weren't used to being that skint. It was the worst I'd ever been, yeah? And I'd done a shoot and I had these slip-ons on. I was like, right, I want these. Went to buy them, they was like 500-600 quid. So, fuck that. Who's paying that sort of money for shoes nowadays? Boom, that was it. Bumped into someone at an after party, had some stuff going on in like Turkey, doing manufacturing, and it all fell in place. The maddest thing, it just all fell into place. And from then, just never look back. And this is my maddest bit of advice, and it's the simplest bit of advice. The only reason I've done as well as this year is because I have not got one bit of complacence in my body.
Let them know.
Do not have it.
Let them know.
Like, no matter what's going on, I don't give a fuck what I've earned, where I am. I do not suffer complacency, because complacency breeds failure. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm always hungry for the vision, and it might be easy for me because I love what I'm doing, but there's not one part I've ever turned around and gone, oh, I'm happy now. I've always bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
I've not had an off week. I've not allowed myself to have an off week. I've not had a bit of time out to go and reevaluate my life. Fuck that, I've worked through it. I've gone in. Like I was telling my guy earlier, I worked for 48 hours once. I didn't sleep. 48 hours.
Yeah.
So the main reason that people are successful, and I've seen it of everyone, is because they're willing to give more. And they're willing to hold accountability for what they're doing.
Yeah.
And if things fuck up, put it right. That's how I've done it. There ain't really no crazy success story here. I was just willing to go harder than anyone, and I still am.
Yeah.
Like, I look at other people wearing stuff, and I think, right, I've seen like 5 people wearing that same shoe today. Why the fuck they not wearing mine? I'm fuming. Pisses me off, thinking they're having it off. I need to work harder. I need to fly somewhere. I need to make all madness happen.
Come on.
It's just nuts, innit? It's like, I'm not really a normal person when you sit down with me, innit?
No, but that's the
the
mentality.
driving force,
That's the
bruv.
mentality of most
Bruv,
driven
man, it's
people.
everywhere now.
People
You
that
get
are
what I'm
really-
saying? Like that's the
Yeah, but do you know what it is? It's not even just the thing. It's like I've got this thing in my head now, yeah, where I feel like I've got so many eyes on me from people who need me to do this. Yeah, I can't let them down. So if I go and flop, then people go, yeah, I told you, fucking these kids that come out of these estates that can't be fuck all. I've got to carry on. I have to show them the levels that can actually be think, because I ain't even touched 30%, I don't think, on the capacity of where I could take this.
No. You're still going, and it's not going to stop. But you've already hit what? Australia,
Canada, America, South Africa, the whole of the Middle East, Europe. Right, I've got some random countries as well. So like, I've boxed off the whole of Holland,
Come on,
the whole of England.
Yeah.
I've basically got a store in like every part of England. There's not really nowhere that you can't access a store.
Yeah. It's only right coming from the estate. ADHD.
from the end,
Thought it was
yeah.
dyslexia. Lads, round of applause for Tommy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Gotta give it. No, we gotta give it up. Come
you.
on,
I
bro.
appreciate
It's
it,
a
man.
party, bro.
But listen,
and you're one of the lads.
It's just the
gotta be
same,
known.
innit? It's the same as what everyone's doing. Everyone's out
Yeah.
crafting. You're building something which is mad as well. So don't matter the timing that someone does something or how it looks. Yeah, everyone's doing their thing.
100%.
If you're getting up and you're going to work in the morning, and you're providing, you're doing your thing. How many times when we sat down when we was kids and seen like a guy with a nice, for example, a nice bike or a nice car, and like, I wish I had one of them. That guy's gone to work, he's getting something, and that's made me aspire to be someone. So, brother, I've just got love for anyone that's doing something that they like doing. That's me. Don't matter what scale it is, because you can make the scale to some next level quickly. It's taking the pledge to do it in the first place.
right.
That's what I love about people.
Yeah.
And I like consistency. Mate, we've been chatting for months.
Yeah.
And we're both on each other. You go quiet, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? Should we do this thing?
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to do this
Yeah.
because I appreciate what you lot are doing. I watch it, and you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
So it's not all applause for me, man, because you make me feel awkward. Sorry, man.
Nah, you know what it
mean?
is? You know what it is, Tommy? Like, we just get like encouragement's important as well.
Yeah.
You could be having the best day in the world, have 10 million companies under your belt. A bit of encouragement for one of the bros is always still nice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know it's reciprocated, because when you're hitting me up saying you want to come on, that already tells me what I'm doing
Yeah.
is successful, and so vice versa. So I just believe it's good to let people see as well that you can just say to another man's face like, "Well done for what you're doing."
100%.
You understand? Well done for what you're doing.
100%. Listen,
see what I'm saying?
it builds people up, innit?
Yeah, it's
like,
important.
I'm doing a thing at the moment, yeah, like, so, because I've got business in Africa, yeah, I'm like, all right, what I want to do is, I love the amapiano music, yeah?
Yeah,
Been
yeah,
on it
yeah,
for
yeah.
time. Because I've got this ADHD.
You woke him up.
yeah?
You woke
Yeah, he dressed like he's ready for
Mad,
the
Bang it on and show me, man. But because I love the tunes, yeah, and inside the music there's all mad different drops in it, yeah, different noises. Because of narrow work, that's my ADHD. I can sit there and I sort of understand the whole thing of the song, yeah. I've been on it for years, man. I've always been on that kind of music. So now I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go to Hackney. Let's go to Islington and wherever. Show me the best amapiano dancers. Show me someone that needs a break. Give me the best person who's out there, who's actually to the point where they're thinking of giving up because they're not had a break. Come, I'll give you a break. I'll put you everywhere.
Yeah.
Come, I'll dress you in Mallet here you go, here's a camera crew, here's a tune, show us what you're made of, I'll get out there. So that's what I want to do now. That's what I'm loving doing at the minute. So I'm really bringing it back to London now. I'm going to a different level with this now.
Yeah.
It's like I've got things going on now, which hopefully next time we match into each other, I'll be able to announce it. But
Yeah.
I'm doing something at the minute, which is nothing ever will scream more London than something that I'm about to bring out.
Come on.
It's madness.
I love it.
Wish I could tell you because it'd have been fucking sick, but I
Yeah,
can't.
It's all right.
It's a madness though, isn't it?
It's not just
it's
one.
like, I've got a few things that I've literally I've sat down. All right, how do I get this back to where we come from? I feel like I've lost my way a little bit with all this stuff in America. Fuck that, man. We've got the best city in the world here. Let's show people what we're made of.
That's right.
So yeah.
Let them know. How do you balance, like, you've got different fan bases from what I can see. You've got a reality TV fan base. You've got the business side of things. How do you balance that out? Like, as in feeding both. You know what I mean? Like, you've got different sets of people following you. I guess. I don't know if I'm wrong. Tell me.
Bro, that's a great question. I'm gonna actually think about it because
It's a good question, isn't it?
it's a very good question.
Cheers.
Yeah,
I put the
that's
glass.
a
I put
very
the glass.
good
Told you when I put the glasses on.
when
It's
you put the
on.
glasses, he said it earlier. He goes, when I put the glasses, I turn into a different man. I'm like,
That's what I'm saying, boy.
Because it's real.
I'll
Because
tell
like,
you-
why you
I'll
think
tell you-
about it, it's like,
It's true.
rah. It's like, it's true. Because
hard.
are you still tempted to have to still expose the reality side of your life, like still have like the cameras inside, or now that you are successful doing what you're doing, would you rather just have doors closed and just live as a successful man and do what you're doing, kind of thing?
They ain't processed the crazy. I can see he's listening to you, but he's still processing what I'm saying.
No, because you see them sort of questions that you ask then, yeah? You can fuck someone up with that question. Because if someone tells you, I deal with that side that way, that means they're not being themselves, innit? I've just been myself, because if you're not, I'm not an actor.
Yeah.
And then you'll always show your true colours after the thingy. So I was really, really strong on this from the start, because I used to basically, I never said this, but I got bullied for a little while, innit? When my mum and dad moved me out of London to Essex, yeah? Because I went to school and done my GCSEs, yeah? And because of the way I spoke. Because obviously the school I went to was just like pure white. I went from a school in Archway, yeah? Which was like 90% black.
Come on.
To where them man there used to go, what's happening, mate? Sweet, mate.
Yeah.
Like, take the piss out I spoke then, but that was all, we was pals, we was family and all that. So, getting dropped off in Essex and having an accent, which I didn't think was any different to any other Londoner. But, yeah, like, I didn't get on there really well, innit? They used to call me a few names that I'm not going to say, which, to me, shaped me to what I am today, because I was like, I ain't changing the way I talk. Fuck that. Fuck that. How about I call my pals from my old school down here and we'll start a search.
That's right. You know what I mean? Yeah, we start.
You know what I mean? But I'll never forget, yeah. So I ain't gonna say the word, but they used to call me a word begin with a W in it, end with a R. And
Them way there.
yeah, see that fucking affected me, man, really badly, because it put me into a position where I was like, shit, I have to either change who I am and try and be one of this lot who I think are dickheads anyway, or I carry on being me. And I thought, fuck it, no, I ain't changing nothing. I'm staying as I am. I'm gonna get worse, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I ain't seen these kids in school, but that's on week 1 or 2. Week 3, yeah, they must have started trying to build the Olympics up. So they started moving people out of Stratford to Essex because they was using the space to build the Olympics.
Yeah.
So then the trickling started coming into school from people from London. And the first 3 people that come in, I remember the first person that come in was a kid I knew called Larry, who's from Hackney. And I knew him from, did I go to school with him or something? I think I boxed with him at Lion up in Hoxton. He come walking in and he was wham.
Yeah.
And he was like, he come to school in like year 8 from Nigeria or something like that. This geezer was wham.
So really, my man was 18.
Hey, yeah. Hey, what are you saying, bruv? And as soon as I done that, I was like, raw, fucking hell, you know what? I'm glad I didn't change myself, because he would have come in and said, what the fuck's happened to you? And then they would have turned on me.
Yeah.
So that was one of them ones where I learnt from quite a young age is fuck that. If people ain't happy with who you are and people don't fuck with you, they don't fuck with you. So if the business world don't like the way that I conduct myself, then go fuck yourself. But I'll tell you something, I'll make something happen, so you have to fuck with me.
Yeah.
You can keep stalling it. Well, no, I don't like him, he does this and this. It's going to come a time when you're going to need me for something. Because I'm putting the work in now, and you can't be looked over. So that question's mad, and the only answer is carry on being myself, man, because I've got my own TV show, my missus.
Come on,
And
baby steps.
Yeah, it's so easy for me to be a certain person on that, and then speak a certain way when I'm with the boys, and then and the next thing, people just think you're fake, innit?
Yeah. And there's no, when you're yourself, I always say this, when you're yourself, there's no time limit on it. Like, it can keep going and going. Gimmicks, I always say, innit? Gimmicks come and go. But being yourself is timeless because people watch you grow. Good you, bad you, angry you, upset you. It's just you. So it's timeless. It just goes on and on. That's why you can listen to a fucking Jay-Z album from fucking 10 years ago or one now, because it's a diary. And that's what you're doing, document it. But tell me about that show now, Baby Steps.
Yeah, no, that's just, you know what? I done that just because I didn't want my missus being on Towie no more, to be honest, yeah.
I hear that.
I was on there for a long time and I didn't want to be on there, but it was like, all right, my missus was on there. Am I going to leave her and be... we started our journey together, sort of. I've gone and done all right for myself and just ducked out and left my missus that But still, my missus was on her own journey to do her own thing. So she loves doing the show. So I stayed on there for 3 years, man. 2 years, nearly 3 years. And I didn't want to be there. And I'd done my thing by then. Like, I was done. I was good. I was like, I was running the business and then filming like 6 days a week at one point. Doing all this madness. And I was like to George, listen, I need to get off this now. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm 28. I'm selling around the world. 1 minute me and you are talking sense, and then the next thing there's a girl calling another girl a slag on there. I'm trying to campaign for this mental health thing and make people think like good of themselves, and then it goes against what I'm on. And I ain't got a bad word to say about him. I loved it, but I said to Georgia, look, what if we do our own thing? And Georgia got pregnant, and then boom, that was it. We got offered our show, done a spin-off, and it was a hit.
Come on, prime time as well. You got the 9 o'clock slot. ITV.
Yeah.
That's a hard.
We got the
that's
Sunday.
That's prime time.
Yeah, we got the Sunday, you know, and we're the only people, I think.
That's that Love Island slot, you know. That's, you know what I mean?
When they give it to us, I was like, right, I don't know if I'm ready for this, but like it goes back and forward, and I was like, look, we'll do the Sunday like leading up to for this one here. We done the Sunday, and then we've got a Wednesday slot as well, and then we've got another one where it can be twice a week and things like that. So it's just something that I'm doing for my missus really, because she does well out of it. She loves it.
It's a great.
It is what it is, isn't it? It's like
speaking you and your missus, because I've got some. You know, I did some. I asked some of the females them, you know. I asked a few questions. Like,
She said you had the glasses on, rather than looking.
You know, like when Clark Kent, when Clark Kent,
I need to buy them when I leave here, you know.
All the interviews that we done, he's got the glasses on, they're the ones with all the best questions.
Hey, if I write an email, if I put an email together with them glasses on, I'm reading everything together.
Oh, we'll write essay with them.
Minority Report with these fucking glasses. Yeah. You and your missus, when you was on the show, from on the show till now and everything you've said, you've proper like stuck by her in everything. Like I was hearing like, even if there's an argument, she's having an argument with some girls, you're not fucking sitting by, you're saying to him, he's jumping in, saying,
and he's saying fully backing it.
Fully backing it.
Backing it. Yeah, man, never ever let her down. You get me?
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, come on.
It's actually mad. No, it's fucked. But that's my mum. Getting that from my mum. Like, I remember once, someone's mum shouted at me, because something happened. And I turned around and my mum was halfway down the road with something on her. Mum, we going? No, fuck that. We ain't having that. We're going around the woman out. My mum's actually physical with people, And I was like...
Can't beat the old school.
Hey, she's walking now, like, Mum, listen, before you do anything, I might have been wrong. I don't give a fuck, she shouted at you, fuck that, they're getting it, but I'll deal with you after. I was always brought up like that by my mum. That's how I always was, So when I went on the show, and even, it doesn't matter who Georgia was arguing with, it really didn't work in my favour, man. I've done some really bad things, man. But if Georgia got upset, everyone's getting it. I don't give a fuck, mate. Once, I was like, look, there's 29 cast members, That's one a day, innit? We do what we have to do. But then, as I get to cast member 14, Georgia's made up with all of them. I'm like, no, fuck that. We've got to carry on that. We've come too far. And like, that actually made ag with me and Georgia, you know? But I'll take it too far. I'm like, everyone's getting it. Don't give a fuck. If you're friends with that person as well, you're getting it as well. So before I knew it, mate, I was having ag with everyone. And then, over what? Because someone said something to Georgia, but that's how I am. I can't help that, man.
Yeah, that's good though. Protection.
Yeah, come on.
I'll do that. Like, listen, I'll be honest, yeah. When it comes to my people, my family, that's all I've got, man.
Yeah.
I'll die for my people.
Yeah.
Honestly, and you know what? One thing I've learned is you can't expect that back from everyone. Yeah, that's a really hard thing.
Yeah.
You can't expect that back from everyone. You can't go and give something and then expect something back. And I've had a lot of problems in my past, yeah, by me having that die-hard backing for people and then falling out with everyone. And then they're like, something happens with me and everyone's like, no, I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a bit fucked up when it comes to that. But with Georgia, man, like, yeah, she's my queen, innit? So I got to make sure she's the mother of my kids. And I knew that from early with her, you know that?
Yeah.
So I was like, there ain't going to be one day it goes past when one geezer thinks that he can come and say something to you. If that happens, oh my God. Some of the things that didn't make the cut of Towie.
Sounds good.
You say, well, air that, yeah.
Air that out.
Forget about it, bro. You know what I mean?
Got shots in the back of the
Like, even arguments, I look back and I'll cringe. Things I've said to ladies. I've never been brought up to say things to ladies, but couldn't hold my temper because I felt like they was pressuring Georgia on Georgia. Turned around and called that girl slags before. On camera. Where everyone sees.
But do you feel like that whole environment, when it came to the arguments, kind of encouraged that kind of... Because you couldn't really physically fight anybody. So it's like... You
got to kill him with words.
Yeah, you got to kill him with words. So
when you can't hit him, you get nasty with your words.
Yeah, so, it makes you violent with the tongue, innit? Like, you're just saying some real shit. Like,
so he knows.
You know, innit?
He knows.
Yeah.
Some of the madness that I used to say, yeah? I'd think about it for days. And I'd think, shit, why the fuck did I say that? And obviously now I'm older, and obviously I've come through these last few months, and the main part of having this ADHD is not being able to process thoughts before you do it. Because everyone thinks it's hyperactivity, it's not. It's like impulsive behaviour. So, say for example, something happens with us now, and even if I don't say anything, after I'm pulling one of you on it. Even though if I'm going to get weighed in, I'm still doing it. Them sort of things there where I obviously weren't thinking like logically a lot of the time. And obviously I have to deal with that forever because I fell out of a lot of people over little things. But when I've looked into more and more with this ADHD, a lot of the shit that I was doing during that time, maybe I shouldn't have been on that show some of the time, really, you know? Because I was acting, listen, I'll find out where someone was filming, yeah? And because I found out they said something about me, and I'm not supposed to be filming, but I'm fucking driving and I'm pulling up on the set. Give me a microphone. I don't give a fuck. Or walking about a microphone and sticking it on people. And we was all like that to an extent. But I feel like I always that guy that took things too far. And I was always that guy after. It was like, all right, what's the matter with everyone? It was only a rash. So what? I called you this and that. Who cares? I didn't hit ya.
So I'm kind of with that though.
I know, but
but I get what you mean though. Professional environment, we're doing But
for the cameras.
I'm like, so what if I said you go and fuck yourself, go and get your dad? I only said it.
Me too, you know,
I didn't do anything. I didn't. Like when I look back at it, so I said you got me at a good time because not only am I calm now, and this is very calm for me. I'm very, very calm at the minute because otherwise I'm like, I'm all over the place, coffee, I'm actually starting to reevaluate. I feel like I've got to a stage in my life where I'm only now learning. And when you bring things up about like Towie, I look back and I don't cringe at it because I'm like, fuck, I was in bits then, you know. I was actually
it shows that you're in a good space now. It shows that you're in a good space. You have to look back and reflect on it.
I don't regret none of it.
Smile like that, big smile like that. It says a lot about
none of it. I don't care.
I as well at the same time. Like, that's happened.
If there was no that, there would be no this.
You know what I'm saying?
And I remember certain scenarios that went on, yeah. It was touch and go whether my career was going to make it out of the back of it. I had a few little things that happened. And it was bad, man. Like certain bits that happened, my career was done at certain parts, and I always had that next chance to carry on. So then when I started doing that, and it happened a few times, I was like, no, people like how I am. Fuck it. People are feeling it. People are feeling that I'm a little bit different, and I don't give a shit.
Bro.
Relatable.
Yeah, and I just like, whatever. And when I started seeing kids in the street and I was spudding kids, and they was going to Arch Wanker, I was like, yeah, right. I've done my thing, you know what I mean? But you know, it's all mad.
Yeah, because you could tell with some people that it meant more to them to be like popular, famous, and all of that. Then for others where they're just in the show doing their thing, and it's just like whatever, innit? Like,
Yeah.
I think you're one of those that people can relate to because
Like Tommy's on business.
yeah, business.
No,
You're doing your thing. You was in it, but it wasn't like raw. Like you need. It's like whether it blew or not, you weren't really too bothered. Whereas other people, you could see it most really.
I didn't
If
really
their
have
thing
much
didn't
choice,
really go, it
100%.
would stress them out. Like, do you get what I'm
100%,
saying?
Yeah, that competitive that goes on with people in this industry, yeah. Like, if someone does something, I'm clapping for them, man. I'm like, wow, well done, man. Sick. I wanted that job, but you got it, so you smashed it. Well done, man.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times, that's what probably got me through it, because I was like, I don't really give a fuck what anyone thinks on this show of me, because I ain't really out here trying to be a presenter or get on the jungle.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the main goal.
That's it, get on
That's
the
the main
jungle.
goal
You
for
know,
people,
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a-
What in that thing, like just to get on celebrity?
Yes, I
get me
never
out of
said
it.
this actually, yeah. But so what happens is normally on reality, what people like is so it's like, all right, get on Towie, and then the next thing you want to be Holly Willoughby or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how they all people are. They don't want to stand. No one on the show wants to stay on the show. They sort of use it as a platform, but to then progress on to something else.
Yeah.
But think about it. How many Love Islands? There's 2 a year. There's about 50 people on each one. If you times that by the amount they've done, which is about 6, you're like fucking 600 people or 300 people or 600 people for the amount of people come in.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people that is?
Yeah, man.
How much you've actually like got more chance of going to get a job in the city and smashing that? But I clocked that early. I was like, oi, there's loads of us, and a few of you are better looking than me, and you, all the nuns and that like you, and then there's me. Who likes me? All the people in the manor. So fuck it, I'm carrying on, and I don't even really care about it. And when I stopped caring about what anyone, weren't looking to be in any magazines and stuff like that. I wanted the Forbes list. That was always my thing, which I got. And I was like, oh, I don't care if I'm in OK magazine or this and that. I want to be in Forbes, so I'm not going to be in Forbes by chatting shit in the corner here. I need to get to work.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where I sort of went away from what I was doing. I probably had 2 months of it, of being like the other lot, and I was like, nah, tunnel vision now.
Yeah.
I've got to go and get that Forbes list.
Yeah. Come on.
And yeah, that's it. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, crazy. How do you manage dealing with the stresses that must come with the reality TV show, Mallet London, family life, because there's going to be stresses with all of that as well. How do you manage to deal with all of it? Because that's the stress that comes with it. How do you personally deal? I know you're a big spokesman on mental health and all of that. How do you deal personally, Tommy?
You know what, yeah? Is when it comes to business stress, there does come a point when you look at everything. Because when I was doing what I was doing, I didn't ever look back. Unless I was trying to design something, and that was looking far back. But I didn't look back over the last 4 years and go, wow, man, we've done Harrods, Selfridges, every store in England in this amount of time. I was also chasing the next thing, yeah? But then there did come a time when I had my kid, and I turned around and I thought, all right, the stress is very heavy on me lately, yeah? I got this going on, this going on, this going on. Am I content enough now? And this is the way I need to look at it. And it sounds a bit mad, but if I lost it all tomorrow, am I happy with where I come? And I had to actually to accept that. And I was like, it ain't always going to go my own way, and it could flop tomorrow. It's not gonna, because I won't let it, but there's things that happen, yeah? And that was how I sort of started managing stress in what I do. I was like, you know what? If this fails, it ain't my life. It's just my business. So I can actually live without this. I've got a child now, and I need to take things more and become a normal human, because I didn't feel normal for a long time, man. I was so blunt with things. I take everything so personal, and it was like, everything's about the vision. If it ain't about the vision, fuck off. Don't invite me out. I don't want to be invited out. I don't care where you lot are eating. I don't care who's got ag with who and what can be sorted out. I don't give a fuck. Don't ring me, yeah? If it ain't about what I'm trying to achieve, then fuck off. But with that, it becomes your life. So then you take everything personal with it, because you look at, they're trying to ruin your life. Because I'm like, this business is my life up until I had my kid. Anyone's coming to try and ruin it for me. The stress was like, it's like fucking nuts, man. I couldn't explain it. The amount of stress that I'd go through was insane. And I didn't really know how to handle it. I didn't have an off button. And the same with family life. Is like, it stresses me out sometimes. I know that I've got to put a graft in at work, and I'm not going to be able to put my little boy to bed. So that would play on my mind. And then know that I've got to film a show whilst running this big business, and I've got cameras around me all the time. the stress did get to me. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It got to me twice. The first time it got to me, I had a breakdown, and that was where the mental health thing come, because I thought I had depression, and I'm happy to say today that I don't have depression and I don't have bipolar.
Good.
But I didn't know what mental health was before. I just thought, fuck it, who cares? But then one day, something happened to me, and it was a stress breakdown where I thought I had a brain tumor because my head was fucked, yeah? And that was there as a wake-up call of trying to manage stress. But I only learnt from that for about 2 weeks, then I carried on doing what I normally do. I'd go out on the piss with people, abuse all madness, smoking, drinking, all the other stuff that comes with it, but to a crazy extent, to the point where that was playing a big part on my decision making, which was then bringing me more stress. So when I stopped all that, that did help. But then the main one was I had a bit of a madness about 2 months ago. That's why I went quiet, where I was buying a property abroad because, and this is gonna sound nuts, yeah? When I had my kid, I was like, shit, I can't bring my kid up in this country. I can't do it. I can't.
That don't sound nuts.
No, but what I'd done was nuts.
Go on.
So obviously my family were all from like a really rough part of Ireland. It's nothing new to us, how the streets are. But what I was seeing was scary, yeah? So I was like, listen, my little boy ain't being brought up here. I can't really send him to a normal school either, because in 10 years, could be potentially like the next Hugo Boss or something. I don't want my little boy to have to go to a school and be so-and-so's son or the rich kid and things like that. That really played with my mind so badly, because I was like, I brought a kid into the world and I want him to just be the best of what he can and not have to see none of the shit that I've seen growing up and like where I come from. And it really took over me for a good 3 months, yeah? So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna go and buy a villa, innit? So I just cut out to Spain and bought a villa. But didn't hold back, I bought a mad villa.
I said a villa. We know it weren't no villa.
Bought something which I'm happy because I can send my family there, and if it comes on top with bits and pieces, I know I've got it to use. But what I've done with that is, then I expected Georgia to go, all right, sweet, we're going to go and move abroad. Because I weren't thinking rashly, because I was just thinking like, watching the news and watching all these pages on Instagram, all this madness going on. I was like, sell everything, fuck it, sold all my cars. Because as you can see, I don't really roll with any jewellery or anything like that. I like to keep a low profile, I'm just like that. I don't drive big whips or nothing no more. I've got them, but I don't drive them. I've got things parked up. I was like, yeah, fuck this. I want to live a normal life. And the stress of that really affected me. And that stress, when we went to see the house the first time, I went to show Georgia, put a strain on our relationship to the point where I was like, it was a bit touch and go with me and Georgia for the first time. So that is when the stress really hit me. Because I had business stress, family stress, and show stress, all three at once. And it was the first experience of it. But then, with Georgia being the woman she is, and this is why I love her more than anything, she must have watched something and someone had ADHD on it. And she was like, Tom, you've got that, you know. You ain't depressed and bipolar, you have that. You need to go and get help. So that's how I've dealt with it. I've gone and faced it directly, which was triggering me. To now where I'm a calm person and I can do things easily. And I do therapy once a week.
That's good.
And the woman's jokes as well. She's my therapist is Jamaican, yeah. So when I'm telling her a scenario, she comes out of all kinds of madness. So I really look forward to it because like she puts the accent on and all that. That becomes a weekly thing that I make sure I do every single week. So what I try and do is I try and discuss anything that's really affecting me once a week to a therapist. So I don't bring it home and do it to my missus.
Got you. Yeah.
Because that's the main madness, you know. There's only so much you can take, innit? You want to go out, like, this is my dream, not Georgia's. Georgia didn't sign up to take the shit of me coming home and a madness all the time. Georgia don't give a fuck what I do, money-wise. Georgia just wants me. Do you think she gives a fuck whether I'm successful or not? She wants me to be happy, that's it.
I think a lot of men need to take that in.
Trust me now.
Women didn't sign up for it.
This is the maddest thing. Listen, you're gonna love this one, yeah? Listen, because I don't want to keep talking and not letting you have an opinion, but this is all shit which is happening like live. This is live things. Like I'm with my guy here, and I bring my guy everywhere with me. Yeah, if I'm going places, I need like-minded people, and we talk constantly in the car together. Yeah, and I'm like, you know what, I've worked out. do you know, I've got the best out of Georgia. I've actually worked it out. I've got the best out of Georgia. I'm at the best part of my relationship. So that was going downhill a few months ago, yeah? But now, I'm going to unfold this on my show when it comes out. I've got the best of Georgia. And do you know how I got it? It weren't by bringing Chanel bags home and buying big houses. It was by showing her respect, bruv.
Yeah. Come on,
Why
walk
the
up the
fuck didn't my old man tell me that?
Yeah.
Well, all I needed to do is be I want appreciation for what I've achieved.
Yeah.
But why is she going to appreciate what I've achieved when I've become a horrible person with it?
Yeah.
I ain't fucking showing no love like when I go home. I'm
Yeah.
beefing in my office with someone, and then I'm on the phone to Hong Kong, and then I'm on the phone to America, and I go up to bed for a few hours, and I go, she didn't sign up for that. So I've become someone who I didn't know, yeah? But now I've got help, and I've become a better father because I go home and I can look after Brody myself, and I can handle the crying and all that. I want to go home and appreciate her, yeah? So I've like bring home flowers for her. I've never done that in my life. It was also, oh, go on, I'll buy you a Cartier ring. Jules, I don't want a Cartier ring. I'm going to Tesco's or Sainsbury's and I'm grabbing them flowers on the way out. They're a $5.
Come on.
Yeah?
Let her
I'm like, when I come in here, Georgia, these are from me and Brody. Put them in the house.
Yeah.
If you see the change in my household from me doing that, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Dinner's cooked straight
It's
away.
nuts.
I mean,
Right, have you ever noticed? Listen, have you ever noticed when this is the crazy one? She'll punch red in for this. I've got a thing with Calvin Klein boxes. I'll just buy pure white boxes. Like if I'm out, I'll buy loads of boxes. Have you ever got to the point where you're like, yo, babe, I ain't got no clean pants. What's going on? The fuck? Where are all my socks? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go and fuck yourself. Go and do it yourself. You could talk to me like that last night. Go and fuck yourself, yeah? Bruv, my washing is moving mad at the minute. It's
walk-in closet is empty.
mad.
Yeah, everything's in
It's
order.
whiter than ever. It's
Yeah,
delivered on time.
Yeah.
It's like there's no conversations.
All
And
off the
it's
back
all
of
come down to
respect
that.
and appreciation.
It's all about respect and appreciation, yeah?
Word.
My dad had that, but that generation was different to this
Yeah, it's
generation, innit? But so obviously things happened in my childhood and things like that. My mum and dad got over it, but obviously you lose respect for each other, and when you lose that, you're fucked.
Man, dropping gems, fam.
Yeah,
No, do you know what I'm
They got-
saying
they got-
though?
and yeah, no,
Rules,
I
rules.
fully.
People
You're
get-
talking.
people get
I mean?
People need to take in what you're saying. Like,
Like, I'm like, Jules, do you want a car? No, why do I want a car? Just come home.
no, because the bottom line of it, if you've got a good woman, those aren't the things that are going to motivate her
give
anyway.
a shit.
You don't care about all of that. That's for there's people that will be on that kind of stuff, but your woman that loves you, that will be with you in the worst of circumstances, she don't give a shit about.
Imagine
that.
the whips George has seen me come back with
Come
over
on.
the years.
Come on.
Honestly.
I mean, you're pulling up like James Bond certain days.
Yeah.
Literally.
And honestly, I've got whips like crazy.
Come
yeah? I ain't got a lot of them
007.
now. Only one I've got now is the one with the doors in it.
Yeah.
Because that was the car that inspired me to actually want to be successful in 2010 when I started seeing that car. I loved it. So when I had my son, I bought it for my son. And it's in storage, it don't get driven. It's my son's asset for him.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's his inheritance, that's for him. But George don't give a shit. I'll come home with a number plate that says shoes, yeah?
Yeah.
You go, what's that say? What do you think it fucking says? And she go, why are you talking to me like that for? And then it goes on with that. But if I come home and go, George, I had a really good day today. I bought a number plate and it says shoes. Look at this. Then she'll be like, oh, that's nice. Because I'm interacting with her.
Yeah.
But before, I don't think I knew how to communicate.
Yeah. I think a lot of us don't know how to communicate.
We don't, innit?
Yeah, I think a lot of us
Do you know
don't
what I
know how to
mean?
communicate.
And
I'll be
They
honest.
man are just getting it wrong.
No, we are, bruv. I've been getting it wrong
No,
for
it's-
years.
a lot of us
Listen,
don't
don't get me
communicate.
wrong. We'll sit down in a few months and see if it's still working. Yeah, this is all new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just if I feel like if I the way I'm delivering things and the way I'm being a lot more respectful, it's made my life better, man. Now I feel good about myself in the morning. I look at George in the morning, I'm happy, and I'm like, oh, kiss a kiss. I'm going gym. I'll be back. I'll spend some time with you. Then I'll go to work. I don't think I've had that, man. I feel a bit upset saying it because I feel like I've wasted a part of my life, man. Like,
Yeah, but there's still plenty of time. So much time
I know
ahead.
there is, but you know when someone says, how bad do you want it? And I said this to someone the other day, if I laid out what it's taken to get it, you probably, like, majority of the time, you lot are different. Because obviously the way we've been brought up and where we've come out of, yeah? So we've all got that big passion inside us to go and make this happen, yeah? But if I said to the average guy, listen, you can have that, yeah? You can have all of this, but you've got to go through this. the majority of the people ain't gonna say yes to it, man. I can actually say 9 out of 10 people would decline the offer. It's mad, innit? I feel like I'm finding myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Fuck,
good. Though.
innit?
Yeah, bro, but
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing at the same time
Innit?
because imagine if you don't find yourself, you're always lost, innit? Do you get
Yeah.
what I mean? And you just go and you never know what that end result might be. But the fact that you find yourself and you're putting it all together and in that it's beautiful to see what the future can be now because
gonna be
you're
honest.
going to be a different person. Do you get me?
I'm gonna be honest with you about something. Yeah? The reason why this all started, yeah, and he's actually gonna see it. So no offense, yeah, because this guy's a big guy. So basically, yeah, my therapist said to me, because I'm like, listen, no one can understand where I am at the minute because it's sort of out of the ordinary, innit? Dealing with all kinds of mad things at the minute. You need to find someone like-minded, to someone that's been in your footsteps. I was like, well, I'm not gonna ring up fucking Christian Louboutin and say, come link me for a coffee.
Yeah.
But I linked up with a man that founded Reebok.
Okay.
Okay.
And I filmed
Right.
it, yeah? And when I met him, I left there and I was like, I really had admiration for what he had done. But then at the same time, I felt a bit of a lack of, no, I don't want to say humanity, not because that ain't the word, but it was so focused and vision still at his age. He was like 87 or something, and he was still going about business, this.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, you know what? I don't want to be that guy, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like that. I can't be that. I can't be this guy.
He's like that. No point. He switched off.
No, it was like, he ain't known Reebok for years, but he's writing a book and he's travelling the world trying to sell the book and he's talking about this and that and that. And it was 100 mile an hour and he had his wife with him and I was like, lacked any conversation about anything else. I don't want to be that guy. Fuck that. I'll sit there talking about yourself all the time because that's all you know. So that was the actual turning point where I was like, you know what? I need to become more so what I set out to be. Family man, give back, and an all-round good person. Because it's a lonely place, that other place.
Yeah, 100%. But you are giving back though. You're a big advocate and a big spokesman for a lot of things, and I know a lot of people tap into you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try anyway.
You know, you do your best. That's all we can do, though. That's all we do is do what we can, and you're actively trying to do your part, and that's a step within itself. So, do you get a lot of feedback? You must get a lot of messages of people saying like, "Yeah, you've helped me get through it," because you're leading by example. You're embodying like circumstance and overcoming shit.
When I done the depression thing, which obviously is reverted now, and I know the answer to. It was fucking hard, man, because I was getting I had to turn my DMs off so you can't reply to none of my stories or DMs. Because I was getting a lot of messages from people and basically coming out with real madness. Real madness. How this mental health thing is so heavy. So heavy. We don't even know how bad this is. The messages I was getting, and I'm like, raw. Got a message from one guy once saying, listen, I'm in the bath. Gonna have a bath. I'm having a Radox bath. I love having a Radox bath and a cup of tea. I'm gonna go and hang myself when I get out.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I said, what? I was like, bruv, I don't know you, but why the fuck have you just messaged me that? I'm in bed. I was like, what do you want me to do about it? He went, no, I'm just letting you know. I was like, bruv, listen, have you got family? He said, yeah, I've got I said, listen, you're doing something which is fucking nuts, right? I ain't even gonna start saying don't do it. I don't know your circumstances, but think about what you're gonna leave behind. You don't understand where I've been and I've pulled myself out of. This, you shouldn't do this, basically. I reckon I've stopped about 50 people, 55 people from killing themselves.
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
In a really short time. And I've met a few people as well who I stopped. That there was really good for me because I bumped into like one guy's missus and she said, listen, you don't know me, don't think I'm a weirdo, but my fella is so and so who you stopped thingy. And I was like, wow, save someone's life there, man. That there's just a madness.
It's mad.
It's deep, innit?
No, it's deep. It's deep.
How deep is it?
Yeah, you're surprised that you're reaching and the impact you have on people.
So it's my duty to carry on.
Yeah, 100%.
Like these kids that I've helped with cancer and things like that. This kid his final wish was to meet me. It was between me, Jordan and Kanye. Obviously, he got the short end of the straw. He got me, yeah? But I met this kid and he was young and he was dying, yeah? And that there for me was something where I was like, fuck. now my priorities need to change because this is insane. And this kid has got something about him. Within a year, he had died. But I released the shoe that he designed with me and things like that. And I give it all back to like a thing called Make-A-Wish Fan. Like, there's a few. No, I'll give it to. There was two. One of them was where you like grant people their last wish, called Raise the Sunshine, and the other one was Dream Flight. Yeah, where terminally ill kids get flown over to America and they go on a plane and then they go to like basically have an holiday of a lifetime. So I'll give a load of money to that. So yeah, them things there, the things that sort of keep me going, innit? Mad when I say it, innit? You wouldn't expect that from me, innit? From what you've seen.
No, I'd expect it. Maybe because I know, because I've been watching and seeing what you're doing, and I can see you take it seriously as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
and I never judge people off a surface of what they might, of what you might think of them, because I know we're deeper thinkers from like.
It don't surprise me because the fact that you come out and you spoke about it freely from early, because I remember when the whole like conversations about the depression thing was going on, it just showed that man really actually is genuinely caring about it and not using it as a tool or whatever. Like some people try to use certain things and whatever. You can generally tell that it came from the heart and man meant it. Do you get
You know how that happened? It's the maddest thing, yeah? I didn't actually mean to talk about it on the show. Me and Georgia was talking about something and I sort of just come out with it, but when I said it, started crying on the telly.
So what was this on? I didn't see this.
It was on Towie years ago. I weren't never going to talk about it. It was something that weren't going to be chatted about. It's like I'd been in a bad place. I didn't want to go back there. I didn't even want to talk about it. What happened was I just come out with it. I was like, George, listen, I can't go back to that place. And I just started, like, that was it. I was sort of in a place there where I was too far to go back. But then next thing you know, the messages that start coming through, people saying, oh my God, do you feel like it too? I was like, shit, I've definitely come too far now to turn back. Like, I've got to carry on, innit? And then since that day, I've sort of just carried on doing it.
It's good though, because I think where we bottle up as men, we don't really say too much at times. So when you do let it out, there's probably another load of other guys that just wouldn't say anything. They're holding it all. So to see you just let it out, and it probably opens you up to, it's relatable, bro. It makes you more relatable.
Yeah, and just listen, if I help one person with one campaign that I'm doing, whatever in it, that's it. With one in it.
Yeah, come on.
Because that's just what I'm on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's why I said today you got me a funny time, because I'm not on none of the hype now.
Yeah, you've got you at the right time.
I'm not got none of that hype right now. It's mad. No one's seen me like this before. Like, if you watch something back from me, the last one I done, someone come up to me and went, listen, you need to go and get some help, mate. I watched that podcast you done. You was erratic. Shut the fuck up, bruv. What do you know about erratic?
Man, we'll show you erratic. Nah, you know.
And really, when I sat down and I thought about it and then actually worked something out and then watched it back, I was moving fucking nuts, man. You wouldn't have been able to sit in here for an hour with me.
Yeah.
I would have knocked your heads off. You would have been like, what the fuck, this geezer, get out of here now. So yeah, it's a good time, man. And I'm glad that we've got the platform to sort of push out the message, innit? Because it's not all about the dough and it's not all about the success. It's about the positivity that I'm bringing with it. That's my new vibe.
Yeah. No, I feel that completely. Next thing I want to ask you, you mentioned your children. How many you got?
One.
You got one. All right, Brody, right? Right. How are you gonna stop him from being entitled? I ask all my when all the big ballers come on, I always ask them this.
Yeah.
Same way I asked my guy, because it's hard to give them that balance. Like, they've got so many things and access to so many things. Dad's successful, mum's successful, we're doing what we're doing, but you want them to still have that hunger. Like, I'm always on my son to still try and give him that hunger, but I can see it. I give him that though. He's doing an induction today after sixth form, like little Saturday job. But do you want to give them that, and how are you going to keep that level of that work ethic, that hunger in them, when you're pulling up in the James Bond cars and all of that?
But that's why a lot of because he's gonna see it from so young, yeah. I think it's different with like footballers and things like that, because them man there are just earning fortunes weekly. It's a bit more disposable than what I do. I'm a businessman, innit? So my dough's tied up, and if it ain't tied up, I'm not a good businessman. Because if I got money in the bank, I'm only losing.
You're using it. You got to put it out there to work for you.
So there's a saying, innit? Like, give them a fish to eat for the evening, teach them how to fish to eat for a lifetime, innit?
Yeah.
So like, for me, is 100% he's gonna have some level of, he's gonna be entitled. Of course he is. There's no way he's not gonna. His dad is, well, we don't know where we're gonna be in the next 10 years, but if it's going the way I'm going, a lot of people are gonna know his dad is. He needs to be taught from early, it's not normal the way I'm treated by people. And George always says it. Because the way I get treated by people is fucking nuts. Like, compared to how normal, like, people on the reality show gets treated. It's a bit weird. People address me a little bit different because my success over the last few years. I don't like it personally. It makes you feel really uncomfortable. I just want to be addressed as me, innit?
Yeah.
But he needs to learn that from the start. Listen, you can get this taken off you fucking just as quick as you've been given it. It's borrowed, man.
Yeah.
And it ain't his money either, it's mine. It's not his money, it's mine. I swear down, no, I'll be honest with you.
No,
Nah,
you're
listen,
right, you're right.
If
you're
he
right.
wants to, and I'll tell him from the get-go, you ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
You don't have nothing. This company ain't being left to you. Yeah, you've got these assets that I've bought for you. They're yours. No problem. If you're happy with a few assets to go and when I die, they're yours. Yeah. Go do your thing. But listen, if you show me what it takes to keep the money, it ain't about just getting it. Keeping it's the hardest thing. So if I go and raise a little entitled brat, yeah, who just don't have any value for money, he's gonna go and. Have you seen the thing? My grandfather walked 10 miles to get to work. My dad walked 5. I drove a Cadillac. My son drove a Mercedes. His son will drive a Ferrari. His son will be walking again.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know what I
Them
mean?
dropping.
Yeah,
You
you
know what I'm
get me?
saying?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You got to resonate with them sort of
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
innit?
yeah.
Them
Man,
things are there for you to
Couple
fucking use.
people watching now still trying to like hold on. So
Yeah, so what am I driving? You know what I mean? Yeah.
So
Then
break
that's
it down
it.
quickly, innit?
Then
For
that's
anyone
it.
who's
Yeah, yeah.
like me and a little bit slower, yeah? Basically, my man was walking 10 miles to get to work, but then when he gets 5 generations down, because it's generational wealth, the kid driving a Ferrari is like one of these little pricks that are fucking young, Ferrari'd off, don't give a shit, no respect, don't have any drive, yeah?
Yeah.
Them kids there are the ones that lose it all.
Yeah.
So to keep generational wealth, why do you think when you drive past a big house, yeah, and you see a shit car outside, you never notice that? And you think, well, why they got that dead car with that big mansion? Because they understand.
That's right.
They understand what it takes to hold on to generational wealth. So with Brody, it's all about morals, man. Listen, I ain't being funny. If you see my pals and my pals' kids, but he ain't going to be brought up in no rich kid environment. He's going to be having it with like proper kids.
Yeah.
We still go caravan every weekend. I go down the caravan. That's how I like to do it.
Yeah.
I go and spend time with people I've known years.
Yeah, keeping it
In
local.
a caravan.
Keeping it-
I love that. I'll take him back to Ireland and show you where my mum's from. I'll take him to the flats in Dublin.
Come on.
He needs to be able to be comfortable in them situations. I'm not giving he ain't gonna be brought into this world. Yes, I'm probably gonna send him a private school because of where I am, and it's only for a security thing more than anything. But that kid's gonna be working, and you will see. Like if you watch on my Instagram, I was teaching him how to drive a quad before he could walk. I was teaching him how to drive he's got a car, yeah, the same as my James Bond car, as you call it. He drives around in that. I've been on him so he learns how to do things. When he started crawling up the stairs, I don't let him stop till he gets to the top. I'm gassing him up like SAS. Go on, boy, get to the top. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because once they feel, that confidence within themselves and that passion, fuck the money. He ain't going to care about the money. He's going to want to be bigger than his dad. Because they say, the son of a great man is never a great man. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
I don't know how true it is because, for example, Nigel Connor Ben's sick. Good friend of mine. I also know Eubank done his own thing. But it's very hard, and I think that's where things get mixed up when you think it. If your dad's like this guy that's been the first one to bring wealth into the family, it's hard to do what he's done again. But people are capable of doing
It
it.
can be done. Yeah.
Of course it can be done. Isn't it?
A lot of it as well is to do with the dad as well, because you have to be a mentality of like, I consider myself a great man, but I want my sons to be greater than me.
100%.
That's what it's about.
100%.
You understand? So that's where it stems from. If you've got that kind of energy and you're instilling it into him, which you are doing with the up the stairs thing and all of that kind of stuff, you're already setting it. You're already laying the foundations for it already.
Yeah, I sit there in my office with all the shoes in front of me, and he's got baby versions. I play around with them and do all mad things, and then he sits there and copies me. I want him to feel what it is. I need him to understand it, and that's where I really want to be with him. That's my main goal, innit? And you know what? I've realised more than ever the last few weeks, because I've made sure that I'm at home more. when I'm not around, he ain't developing like into what I wanted him to be, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because he's always around his mum and like her mum, and when he falls over, they're like, "Oh, poor baby."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Get up, come on." Do you know what I'm saying? I'm really starting to notice
Masculine
that.
shit.
Yeah, come on, get up, man. You know what I mean? Or like if he's smashing something up where people go sick, I start creasing because he's a little boy and I want him to be like that.
Yeah.
I'm learning, man, and I don't really have the answers for everything. All I can try and do is show him where he comes from and show him that we've still got a lot of people there and we're not at the space where we can get everyone out where we come from. But really, you can't go and spunk all that dough.
That's right.
Because we've still got people who are struggling around us.
Yeah.
We
Right.
can't help everyone.
That's right.
But I ain't gonna let my kid roll around all the time like drippy, spoil. I'll put him in Primark Baby Grows, my son.
Come on.
Yeah, Marks and Spencer's, Primark Next. I put him in that. Of course, he's got all the bits and bobs because all my pals always buying him stuff. But I don't put him in that. I don't put him in nice trainers. I just try and keep him to be a kid, innit?
That's right. Yeah, let him be a kid.
And then he can then aspire to what he wants from then instead of me trying to make him that material kid.
Yeah.
That's the only answer I really have for it. And I'll probably let you know in the next 10 years. Hopefully, I've done a good job, but I hope so.
Well, you're doing great so far.
come on.
As we bring it to a close now, what can we look out for, Tommy? What should we look out for over the next few months, years, whatever?
My main ambition for now is to try and stay in a nice, calm headset. I want to build the company to a space where I'm giving back to my people. I'm doing everything you're going to start seeing is only from where we're from. So we've just shot a campaign in a famous cafe in Bethnal Green called Polici's, yeah? My granddad used to eat it. It was in the Craze film. Granddad used to eat in there. Blah, 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 blah. It's like really storytelling. So everything we're doing now is like we're writing a book as we're doing it. So I'm not really chasing after these big wins no more, man. I just want to sort of get this level of happiness where I can show people what I'm doing and people enjoy it. And yeah, man, we've got some big things coming, some huge things coming.
Come on.
Which, yeah, man, when everyone sees, I think it's just going to be another one where people are like, fucking hell, how has this geezer done that?
Yeah.
And then just carry on looking out for good stuff. Wow, what about you guys? What are you on?
It's grafting.
Grinding, bro.
Same
Grinding, same
Grinding.
thing. But enjoying it.
Yeah.
The main thing with this thing, just enjoying it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, my thing is, you got to do something that feeds your soul right now. All the dough in the world is great, but you got to be enjoying yourself. Got to be happy with what you're doing. Wake up feeling nice, you know what I mean? Feeding yourself inside. So we're just enjoying the process, bro. Enjoying the process.
And you can
it's
see
building.
that when you watch it back, man. Like, you're always creasing.
Yeah.
And the things you come out with, But when I'm just like scanning through TikToks and thinking, and I come across them, I'm just creasing, and it's all shareable, man. And that's what makes it, innit? You want people to be able to share your content, and people see something that you're just creasing about. So that's what I'm seeing from you lot, man. Like, you lot are smashing it. So
Come on,
Appreciate
love,
it, brother.
yeah, man. Honestly, I love to see it, especially all the people you got coming on here.
Yeah, that's
And
important.
for where we come from as well, like it needs this, innit?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need to be talking about it, the truth, instead of
yeah.
going on some corporate thing and chatting shit
yeah,
about
yeah.
how much money.
Yeah,
you
come
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Come on,
right.
come
Yeah,
on, come
come
on,
and sit down with a man then.
No, I love it, man. Honestly, and
Dario.
I'm honestly,
Appreciate
I'm honoured to have that you had me on it.
Nah, we're honoured to have
big-
you here.
yeah,
It's
big
for coming down,
appreciation.
listen.
Listen,
Big
the guests,
Tommy, you know.
the guests are getting bigger and bigger. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
no,
lie.
you know,
Hey,
yeah,
listen,
yeah,
when
yeah.
I see Kalula on it, yeah.
Come on.
Come on, man. I'm trying to hit him up for a shoot, yeah, and he's out here doing podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm definitely shouting him now, bro. Can I ask a favour?
Yeah, come on.
But yeah, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
the
for
levels
having me,
are always
guys.
just-
Appreciate
No,
it.
I appreciate it, brother. And
I
we'll
appreciate it.
and we'll catch up again another time because we
100%.
just keep
Listen,
building.
Let's
That's
give
all.
it another 6 months, yeah.
Yeah,
Because when I'm announcing some stuff, I've got a lot of big stuff coming on. We can reason about it.
Yeah, yeah.
because
Update, sit down.
Some of it's
Yeah,
mad. Some of
yeah,
it's
yeah.
actually nuts, which will like jog your memory to all different kind of things. When the camera stops, I'll tell you it is
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
of course. Well, the
Yeah,
cam-
thanks for having me.
Every
man. I
time,
really
my
appreciate
bro.
it.
Doors always open to you.
Thank you.
The camera's off. We're done. Another one. Stat.